Hi everyone, today we're going to go over the unboxing and the installation procedures for the Mesclatore Lite. Stay tuned. The Lite comes in a crate with a ramp and is accessible by both sides, and you don't need any tools to open the crate. The system is secured to the crate using leveling casters, so the first thing you want to do is unscrew all 4 leveling casters. One person can roll this system out of the crate through the ramp side and roll it to its final location. Select the flat surface to install the system, then raise all 4 of the leveling casters and just make sure the system is level. Once the agitator is installed, you can roll the trolley in the agitator and just remember to lock the 2 front wheels using the step lock. The controls are straightforward. There's an e-stop button, a start, a down, and an up button. In case of an emergency, you'll push the e-stop button. Once you've cleared the emergency, everything's fine. You turn that button clockwise to reset, and then you'll push the start button. The agitator lifts through a pneumatic piston. To operate this, there's 2 buttons, an up and a down. You press and hold the up button. It takes a few seconds for the air pressure to build up, but eventually the lift raises the agitator, and you can actually raise and lower the agitator during operation, so you can fine-tune the height that you need to get the agitation that you want. This is the main control panel for the system. There's a start and a stop button, and of course the start button will start the agitator, and if you want to stop the agitator, you'll push the stop button. To adjust the agitator speed, you'll push the up button to increase the speed, the down button to reduce the speed. This can be done while the agitator is in operation, or if you're starting in a stop position, you can preset the speed that you want to operate at and then push start. There is a 4-to-1 gear reducer on the system. So if the screen says 1,000 RPMs, that gets reduced by 4, so you'd actually only be operating at 250 RPM. Inside the panel, you're going to find an ABB variable frequency drive. And what this does is it converts monophase power to 3-phase, and also it modulates the frequency, which is what controls the speed of the agitator. This is your main breaker. Just make sure it's up to be turned on. On the side of the panel, there is a fan. Just make sure you don't cover that. You need some air circulation to keep the system cool, and I wouldn't splash any water there either because it is not waterproof. For the electrical, you're going to need a 230 volt monophase outlet with a NMA 615P receptacle. Compressed air is required to power the pneumatic lift. Any small compressor will work, and you supply the air through 8mm tubing. Once air is connected, just make sure you push this in to turn it on. There are 2 tri-clamp connections on the agitator plate, a 1.5-inch tri-clamp and a 2.5-inch tri-clamp. These are typically used for a water return, and the second one is typically used for the ultrasonic transducer. On the bottom of the agitator plate, there is also a 1.5-inch tri-clamp connection, and this is typically used for the sprayer. The shaft is secured directly to the gear reducer, and it's attached using 8 hex bolts. Just make sure these are nice and tight before you operate the machine, and always secure these bolts in an opposite pattern. If you do remove the shaft for any reason, there is a groove on the gear reducer shaft, and so the bolts line up to that groove. The agitator slides up the shaft, and it's secured by 3 point set screws, which fit into grooves that are on the shaft. So you just tighten those up and check them periodically, make sure they're always tightened. And there are a series of holes in that shaft where you can secure the agitator to. So you can change that height based on where you want the agitator to be.